This week we have another double portion, Acharie Mos Kedoshim. This week's Torah portion is simply an overload of topics and information. There's so much to discuss. Among the fascinating topics and explanation of God's direction for mankind is a comment of the Ramban's about man's religious observance. In this essay, and in this video, I'd like to share his comments and then explain them. Hashem told Moshe, like the practices of the land of Egypt in which you dwelled, you shall not do. And like the practices of the land of Canaan, to which I am bringing you, you shall not do. And you shall not follow their statutes. You shall follow my ordinances and observe my statutes to follow them. I am the Lord your God. You shall observe my statutes and my ordinances, which a man shall do, and live by them, and I am the Lord. The Ramban explained that there are 4 types of people who observe the Torah. The first is those who observe mitzvos to receive reward in their lifetime. The second is those who observe mitzvos for a reward after death. The third is those who observe mitzvos out of love of God. And the fourth are those who give up all their thoughts of their physical life and live for every thought centers solely on God. The Ramban explained that each person is rewarded for their observance of mitzvos based on the above scale. The first person who observes mitzvos to receive reward during their lifetime receive their reward while they are living. They are given wealth, possessions, and great honor. The second person who observes mitzvos to receive reward after death is observing mitzvos out of fear, and they receive reward after they die. The third person who observes mitzvos out of love of God merits reward both during their lifetime and after they die. The fourth person who gives up all their thoughts of themselves and thinks solely of God lives eternally and arrives at the resurrection of the dead. Each of these levels deserves an essay of their own to explain what they're referring to. But I was struck by a more general question. Shouldn't reward be commensurate with accomplishment of mitzvos, rather than by a person's motivations to fulfill the mitzvos? We are commanded to observe the mitzvos, not want to observe the mitzvos. Perfection from mitzvos doesn't just come from completing the mitzvos. It comes from the change that occurs to the person through the performance of the mitzvah. Each mitzvah requires a person to set aside their instinctual desires for a greater intellectual objective. A second level is the perfection that stems from what motivates a person to observe the mitzvos. A person who observes mitzvos to receive a physical gratification during their lifetime is clearly not as developed as the person who observes mitzvos out of recognition of the mitzvah's intellectual perfection. The Ramban's comments of the different levels of reward come and aim to explain the perfection in motivation of this secondary level. I hope that's clear and I hope that makes sense. I think it's a powerful lesson from a Sedra that just has so many powerful lessons to learn. Shabbat Shalom.